Manchester United have knocked Arsenal out of the FA Cup. What a satisfying win. You know this one is going to be a good one, right? Without any further ado, let's analyze. All right, so let's get started with this tactical analysis video. And of course, we're going to start from the beginning. And the beginning is, of course, this masterful defending that was the platform upon which this Manchester United win against Arsenal was delivered. Now, I've talked many times about the weaknesses of Ruben Amorim's system, mainly the fact that the midfield 2 can easily be overrun. However, now, his tactical vision is becoming clearer for everyone to see, which is that he wants centre-backs, as is the case with Harry Maguire in this sequence, who play with aggression and who step beyond the boundaries of their assigned roles. So he wants aggression and he wants pro-action from his centre-backs. And of course here, Lisandro Martinez, who is picking up from where he left off from in the game against Liverpool, where he had an amazing game, and he's doing the same thing here. As you can see, he's just like marauding into this space and just being alert, paying attention to where the ball is going to land to be able to make those interceptions and ball recoveries. And of course, the centre-backs were not the only ones, because Ugarte, who is definitely a player who has revolutionized the way we play, because we've been lacking a player of this quality with a lot of aggression and that defensive instinct in midfield. And he's been quite instrumental for us in this game, because he enabled us to counter-press effectively. For example, here, as you can see, always keeping an eye on Odegaard. And the moment Odegaard gets the ball, Ugarte is there to win it. Now, of course, Ugarte's defensive prowess hasn't been the only highlight, as far as I'm concerned, from him in this game, because he actually brought something to us that we've been missing. So of course here he wins the ball from Merino, but this you see that ball carrying ability. I always talk about game management in my videos, you know, managing the tempo of the game, and you always need 2 or 3 players in your team who can be ball carriers. Basically, they can carry the ball out of the danger zone, get it more closer to the opposition's goal, to give your team a breather and give them an opportunity to reorganize. And here, as you can see, that's a bloody knee, by the way. This is a Spartan warrior, how he's holding off Merino, who is quite a big guy. But you see this balance, this ability to hold that play, this drive, determination that Ugarte is showing. We've missed it. I think that the 2 players that are probably closer to what Ugarte is bringing to us are Fred, but I don't think that Fred is as athletic and strong physically as Ugarte is. Maybe Ander Herrera probably as well. But Ugarte really, in my opinion, ticks all the boxes when it comes to the qualities that you're looking for in a defensive midfielder. Now, another thing that has happened now since Ruben Amorim has taken charge of Manchester United is that there is actually a shift in the mindset of our players. In that, under Erik ten Hag, and I've said this many times in my videos, it's as if the players are playing hot potato with the ball. Nobody wants to keep the ball. Every player just tries to get rid of the ball as fast as possible. Under Ruben Amorim, we are seeing the opposite, because, of course, if you don't do that, you have no control over the game. This header by Lisandro Martinez is key right here, because he's playing a low header into the feet of Ugarte. And then the Manchester United players just form a quick rondo, and so they make the Arsenal players work hard for the ball. And this happens in many instances before, of course, we spread the ball wide or we go forward. Keeping the ball is actually a great defensive strategy. If they don't have the ball, they cannot hurt you. And I think that the Manchester United players now are getting much better at doing that. However, this mindset shift that I just talked about has, in my opinion, been also a contributing factor to us scoring that Bruno Fernandes goal. So, a long ball from Raya, and then this header right here from Mazraoui towards Lisandro Martinez. Was it intentional? Probably, because Mazraoui had options. Could have gone into the throw-in, or maybe just let it go here and try to protect it until it leaves, or maybe play a back pass into Bayindir's path. But no, he plays this header, keeping the momentum for Manchester United, a header towards Lisandro Martinez, who is, of course, free to receive it. So that's step 1. Step 2 is, of course, the ball goes back towards Maguire, who plays this beautiful long ball wide towards Diogo Dalot. That's step 2. Step 3 is, of course, Diogo Dalot winning his duel in the air. Okay, and as you can see, there is purpose behind his header. It goes towards Garnacho, who is close to Gabriel. And of course, here we get our break. Okay, probably the only break we've gotten in the whole game, okay, where Gabriel makes a mistake, but of course, Garnacho is there to pounce. Now, so far, so good. However, this is what I'm going to say about this goal. We've been in situations like these. We've watched Manchester United squander opportunities like these. But this Manchester United is a different animal, okay? So here, let's pay attention to Højlund and what he's gonna do. This run by Højlund right here is excellent. It's just the right run and he's timing it perfectly. Why is that? First of all, he's dragging the opposition backline with him away from Garnacho. That gives Garnacho time and space. And with time and space come better decision making and overall better quality. The other thing is that Højlund knows that Saliba over here is going to have to engage Garnacho sooner or later. So by coming in between him and Timber, he is making sure that Timber actually follows him. This, as a result, frees up Bruno Fernandes, who is able to receive the ball and then does beautiful finish. Nobody strikes a ball like Bruno Fernandes. Amazing goal. Now, of course, we were playing very well. Okay, we were creating chances and it looked like we were in a very good position. However, Diogo Dalot, of course, made a mistake. And I'm not going to talk about the refereeing. I mean, the quality of the refereeing was just horrendous. But when it comes to Diogo Dalot's red card, that was a red card. Okay, you cannot go into a flying tackle like that when you're already on a yellow. What are you doing? That's just poor decision-making from Dalot. However, while it did make the game harder for us, it actually provided an opportunity for redemption for a few players. And of course, the first one, Zirkzee-Bayindir. Look at this save. Amazing. And the thing is that with Zirkzee-Bayindir is like probably you guys feel about him the same way I do, which is we haven't really seen him play. And the few times we've seen him play, you know, he's been kind of underwhelming. So we don't really know what he's capable of. Why did Manchester United go and spend £5 million, you know, bringing in this goalkeeper from Fenerbahce, right? Well, maybe they saw something in him. And then in this game, this was the perfect platform for him to showcase his ability. That was an amazing save from Declan Rice. And then here again, Declan Rice, for some reason, finds himself into acres of space. And then that's it. Like, he could have won it for Arsenal. But then again, beautiful save from Zirkzee-Bayindir. And I love this about him. You know, this matters to me a lot. You know, this celebration, and in fact, this was not the only time. He's been celebrating every save he's been making throughout the game. And I love this. This means a lot to him. He knows this is his chance. And he knows that's it. Nobody's going to take it away from me. I'm going to show the world what I can do. And this is just an amazing move from Ruben Amorim. Because what he's showing the players is that if you work hard enough, I'm going to give you the opportunities. And then it's up to you to seize them. It's actually a message to Marcus Rashford. And it's also a message to Onana. Don't be too comfortable. You are not really my number one. I don't have a number one. My number one is whoever is good enough in the moment. And I think that that's a great message to send the squad. And I was really happy to see Bayindir really seize his opportunity. He was not the only one, however. I think that the Ligt, we don't talk often about how good of a centre-back the Ligt is. But also, it was very important for him to have a good game against Arsenal because I believe against Liverpool, his lapse of concentration or his lack of decisiveness has led to Liverpool's first goal. Now, of course, I'm not blaming him for that, but I just think he could have probably done better. And I know, and you know, that he's capable of better. And then here again, he showed it. I mean, again, we would have lost the tie if it was not for this intervention from the Ligt. He's just in the right position between those two strikers. He knows that Harry Maguire is taking one player. He prevents the second player from getting the ball. Just great defending overall. Now, that was for defenders. But another man, Joshua Zirkzee, was also on, you know, his redemption journey. And one thing with Zirkzee is that I always talk about his, technical proficiency. This is one of the most technical players we have, okay? He's a joy to watch, right? At Bologna, I enjoyed watching him play. For some reason, at Manchester United, he's just not clicking yet. But guys, I'll just remind you that legends at the club, Evra and Vidic, you know, they signed in January 2005. And they were horrendous for the second part of that season. And then the season after, we won the league with them. And of course, the rest is history. Sometimes some players need time. They need things to fall into place before you can actually see what they're made of. Same thing with Zirkzee-Bayindir. Sometimes, you know, them not performing well doesn't mean that they cannot perform to that level. But here what Zirkzee has done is just amazing. I mean, Saliba, what the hell? You know, and I've said that before. I am from Morocco, guys, for those of you who don't know. And I fell in love with the game playing in the streets of Casablanca. And I don't care whether it's in Casablanca, if it's in Kuala Lumpur, in Lima, Peru, in Chicago, Illinois, in Oslo, Norway, it doesn't matter. Nutmegs and moments like these are as valuable or even more valuable than goals. That is just the truth. This is why we watch football. And this is amazing. And Zirkzee has just completely manhandled Saliba, and just like he fell on his ass right now. And I just want to, just a quick note right here. I don't really get to bash the opposition fans that much. But here's the thing. I don't know if you've been paying attention, but on Twitter, there are actually quite a lot of Arsenal accounts that post, the kind of content where they put, Saliba or Gabriel's picture right next to Vidic. And then they would ask stupid questions like, who would you sign? Saliba or Vidic? Guys, Arsenal fans, hey, come here. Come here. Okay, you know what? I would look at Ronnie Janssen. Okay? Mikael Silvestre, Gabriel Heinze, Wes Brown, John O'Shea, before I look at Willy Saliba. Vidic. You're comparing Willy Saliba to Vidic. The earth is not flat, guys. It's not flat. Not at all. Let's get back to the video. So, of course, Zirkzee, but here if we talk about tactics, is that he was also instrumental the same way Ugarte was instrumental, especially in the dying moment, in the extra time, really, in allowing us to hold up the ball and get the ball away from our defense so that our defense can reorganize and have a breather. And so he's been quite key to us. Now, the second thing that I want to talk about, which involves Zirkzee, but not only him, is just how our team, which has been known for the past few years as being a team that is weak mentally, has shown nerves of steel in this penalty shootout. I mean, all of the players looked completely assured, like they were up to the task. And of course, Zirkzee scored that winning penalty. And that moment meant a lot to him. Like, again, this is his redemption arc. And after what happened against Newcastle, which I definitely do not approve of, for him to be able to have this moment is completely deserved. But here is what's poetic about this, is that for Zirkzee to have his moment in the sunshine, okay, Bayindir had to save that penalty. Otherwise, it would not have been Zirkzee. So in other words, as Bayindir was having his redemption arc, he said, Josh, bro, we're going to have our redemption arc together. And this is beautiful, guys. And it's moments like these that make it worthwhile to be a Manchester United fan. It's moments like these. This is the payday, And of course, Zirkzee, happy for him. I really hope that things work out for him at Manchester United. All right, guys, see this pimple right here? Just stress. From a lack of sleep in the past 36 hours, I probably slept for 6 or 7 hours. But after performances like these, it's absolutely worth it. And here I draw your attention towards what Ruben Amorim said in his post-match press conference, where he said that with performances like these, he will always defend his players. And so will we as supporters. We will always back the players because this is exactly what we wake up in the middle of the night for. Or the reason why Mancunians go and pay money, a lot of money, to go and watch the team play in Old Trafford or in whichever ground around Europe, wherever they are playing. And that's what we want to see. And these performances, the fighting spirit, the application, the determination, the focus, the composure that the players have shown should be the absolute bare minimum. But one thing is for sure, is that Ruben Amorim has literally masterminded a mentality shift in these Manchester United players. And that's actually a great, tangible progress from what we've seen in the post-Sir Alex Ferguson era. So again, great to be a Manchester United fan, especially today. Let's hope for some more performances like these between now until the end of the season. I hope that you've enjoyed this tactical analysis video. If you did, please give the video the thumbs up. Until next time, cheers.